Hello friends, how are you doing today? So I am the last presenter for our time capsule throwdown memory keeping. So we have had so many great ideas today, and I tell you what, you ask people to come up with some different things or show you some ideas, and you never know what you're going to get from a bunch of creative people, right? Don't you agree? You never know what we're going to come up with. So, and that makes it so much fun because everybody has such different ideas, and, it's just so much fun. Oops, hang on just a second. I gotta turn my second voice off. One of me is plenty. We don't need two. So there's that. But let me go ahead, and we are having this in the Crafty Bunch today. So if you have not joined the Crafty Bunch today, you should go over there because it is so easy to just go through and refresh your page from one person to the next. And, and that way, you just don't have to, be hunting everybody's pages down. Hi, Estella. Hi, Carol. I'm so glad to see you guys here. I appreciate you popping in here with me. And then also over in my group, it's also no cost to join the Crafty Bunch, no cost to join my Artful Adventures Clubhouse. And that is another place that you can go and watch everybody because we're streaming into both of those today. And, well, let's see. We have had the most fun today. We have had, let's see, how many people? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, 9 because we did our segments today. And so sometimes you can get a lot done in, 45 minutes or so, but I really wasn't sure what people were going to want to share with us today. So I gave everybody an hour segment, and they've come through. We have had some really wonderful things today. And I hope that you will, come back in the group and look at some of the things that have been made today. We've had some people do some altered books to use for memory keeping. We have had some hidden places to do writing. We have had somebody show us a great way to use a photo and kind of turn it into an illustration, which was just a brilliant idea. You just never know where you're going to get some fun ideas and things that you really never had thought about before, right? And some special ways to turn, add some journaling to your different layouts. And, a layout can be anything. It doesn't have to be just in a scrapbook. Hi, Susan. Hi, Sue. Linda, I'm not sure if I said hello yet. I tell you what. So, I don't know what I've done by this time. I've sat here watching everybody and all the great ideas. I'm getting kind of tired. I don't usually, do anything live at this time of evening. Hi, Jerry. You guys, I appreciate you guys popping in here with me. Let's see, what else? And then we had somebody make a small book, make a booklet, and she put it in a gum container. Now, you guys, I don't chew very much gum anymore, and I had no idea that was kind of a fun thing that you could get gum in, was the kind of container that she was showing us. So that was kind of fun. And she actually, it was kind of like a little time capsule on its own, right? And some mixed media for some memory cards. That would be fun. Some photo ornaments. And, depending on how you make those, they don't even have to be for Christmas, right? Hi, Susie. How are you? Hi, Susan. Liz. They don't even have to be. So that's kind of the fun of that. And let's see. And then, and Danette, right before me, she was taking a lot of like greeting card type things that she had, and she was turning those into a journal. So how fun is that? I mean, we have had a great time today. And so today, what I'm going to be doing is, let's see here. I'm going to take this little tin, and you know what? I've had this idea for a couple of months to do this, and then when I got right down to it and got ready to figure it out, I pulled it onto my desk, and I'm like thinking, that's really small. It was much smaller than I was thinking it was going to be. I'm like, well, way to go. That's how that goes. But we're going to make it happen. And you guys, you are going to want to stick around and listen to the measurements because I've already got it figured out. I have it all figured out, and you're not going to have to take your time to figure out how in the world the little sizes are going to fit in there. So, you know what though? Hang on one second. I forgot to grab something that I needed, if I can find it. I forgot to grab. I don't know. I really don't know if, oh shoot, I forgot something else too. I've had all day and then completely forgot to do this. Okay, I'll put you down here to the workspace and then we'll get going right away. Maybe. What's the deal here? Okay, there we go. And I can fix this. Okay. Alrighty, we're all set to go. So the fearless leader. Oh, thanks, Liz. That's sweet. You saved one of those gum containers. I didn't even know gum came in those things anymore. I don't even know what kind she said that it was. You guys, and then I don't have any. I tell you, now I'm kind of irritated. I had so much fun watching everybody, and then now. Okay, first of all, see where this has this written right here? I'm pretty sure that you can just take that off by using some alcohol, just plain old rubbing alcohol, and I'm pretty sure that that will come right off with that. You guys, now I feel ridiculous because everybody else was all ready, and now it's my turn, and now I feel so totally not ready. Okay, first of all, I'm going to put a little bit of gesso on here, and the only reason I'm going to do that is because this surface is really slick, and I want to make sure that what I put on here is going to stay. And so I'm just going to put this on here real quick, and I'm going to dry it off. I don't want it too thick. I don't need it super thick. I just need it to where my stuff will adhere to it. So let me dry that, and I'm going to put it on the top and the bottom both. Hey Phyllis, how are you doing? You saved one of those gum containers. See, you didn't even know somebody was going to do that. You're all set, right, Susan? You're all good to go with that. So I'm just going to dry this real quick. And you guys, I'm just going to leave this red color. I don't even think I'm going to mess with it because my papers that I'm going to use are going to fit pretty close on here. And I'm just not even going to worry about it. We could put a little bit of paint on there, but why bother? I think now if it was a pink color, it would go better with the paper that I've pulled out. But I think it'll be okay. And so I'm just going to add another little dab on the back just because it just gives it a little bit of tooth, so to speak. Just a little bit of grit for it to grab to. And, it may work without this. I don't know. I only had one of these. In fact, I bought this on purpose to use. So it's been sitting around. I don't know why I even thought about doing this. Who knows? I probably heard somebody at some time mention using something like this and decided to give it a whirl, right? You never know. You never know. So we're just going to give that a little drying time. Now everybody today had an hour that they were, working within that time frame. I'm following up here at the end, and I don't know that mine is what I'm going to do here with you now. I'm not sure it's going to take an hour, and I'm not going to try and stretch it out to that if it doesn't. I'll show you what I have to show you, and then we'll move on from there, right? Hi, Molly. Thanks for popping back in. I appreciate it. So, we'll just go like that. Okay, that feels like it is dry enough. All right. Woo, that got warm. Woohoo. too warm. All right. So now then, what I'm going to do is I am going to, I don't know. I was thinking about, I guess my original plan was to Mod Podge some paper on here. Oh, you guys, let me show you this paper pad before I take it all apart. Stamperia has got some of the most beautiful collections. I just love them. And they just, I don't know, there's just something about them that I just really love. This one is called Wonderland, and I looked online to see if it was something you could still get, and I do see on Amazon that you can still, find it. Hang on a second, I got something crazy going on my screen, and I can't even see what you are seeing. So that's not good. I got to be able to see what you're looking at. So I have like a desktop computer right here in front of me, and that's how I can see what you see. Okay, and I can, I try to keep everything lined up within here, and have my have the view to where you can see what you need to see. So here we go. Isn't this pretty though? Look at this. So some of it is sometimes kind of fanciful. I guess that would be how I would describe it. But I love the colors. The color combinations usually are so pretty. And they're double-sided papers. They're a really nice weight of paper. And this one is so cool because so much of it looks like it's already kind of a collage. Now, and everybody's monitors are different. I'm looking at this as I go through here, and it's got a lot more kind of a green tone than what's showing up on my computer monitor. But and then a lot of times they'll have pages like this that you could cut, and these would be 6x6 page pieces. And I love the text. I always love script, on things. Look at these. These have things that, tags, some pocket cards you could cut. I'm not big into unicorns. So I don't know what I would be using the unicorn for. This looks like, they're not quite 4x4 squares. Close, but not quite. But isn't this a fun collection? Look at that. And then this is like got all these strips. You could take these and cut strips out of it for something you might want. But look, I mean, it's almost like mixed media that you didn't have to work on. It's already ready to go. I think that's another thing I liked about it too. Just so much fun, good stuff. Here's tags you could use, even some little circle things cut out. Isn't that gorgeous? Who else thinks that's gorgeous? Hey there, Jimmy Lou. How are you? Isn't that pretty? Oh my gosh. So now this is the one I'm going to use. And I'm going to do my top and bottom of my little thing out of this piece right here. And I'm just going to cut a couple of pieces out where I think I want to use them, and then I will cut them to the size I need. So I'm just going to cut this piece here. It's way bigger than I need. And there's a piece over here, and I like both of these. Well, actually, I'm just going to cut this whole thing. So I love this. I love it that it's kind of a mixed media without the mess. And trust me, when I do mixed media, it's a mess. It's a super big mess. Okay, so now for the top piece, I need the top. Let me see, and I don't know that it matters. Well, I like this one though. Ooh, I almost got that. Oh my word. Well, you guys, I'm gonna have to use this one for the back because I cut it too short. All right, so this one for the top, I need it to be 2 1/4 inches wide by 3 5/8. I'm just going to Was this the outside edge? I don't know. I need to know that my edge wherever I'm starting though is going to be straight. Let's just go ahead and we'll cut that one. We know that's straight, so now we can turn it up here. And I'll just slice a little bit off, and then we'll take our measurement there. So this needs to be 3 5/8 inches this way, and then it needs to be 2 1/4 inches wide. And then you look, oh, there it is. And then this this has 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch, and the 1/2 inch is the kind of curve that we need to go on here. It is the perfect size. So did I say 1/4 inch? It's the 1/2 inch size. Not sure I got that one right. So that's the 1/2 inch size. And then you just put that on there. And you guys, I can't believe I didn't even get my, oh, I remember what I was going to do. I was thinking I would put some glimmery tape on there. But now I don't want to do that. You know, it really should be, if I painted it, would be the best thing. You maybe could even use an alcohol marker. Why have I spent all day watching everybody having fun and doing it, and now I'm totally not ready? You know what? I thought I had everything ready in case something happened and I needed to, you know, step in. Well, good thing. Here's a good old Sharpie. Let's try that. You know, Sharpies are actually, well, that is an icky tip. Sharpies are actually an alcohol-based marker. Can't get over that little lip there. And so a lot of times you can recolor something that you want to be a different color with an alcohol marker. Look at me thinking on the fly. Being all smart. Oh my goodness. Not always. Don't count on it. All right. What have you guys been doing? How many of you watched everything? Glimmer tape. Yes. Wouldn't that have been fun? Hi, Carrie. Hi, Alice. Hey, Danette. Thank you. That was such a fun project. And you know, I love the things that people made that were, you know, so meaningful. And isn't that what it's about when we're doing memory keeping? It's things that are going to be memorable to you or your loved ones or somebody special. You know, it just is so much fun to create something that you know, and maybe they don't even know that they're going to enjoy it now, you know. But down the road, one day they're going to pull that out and really enjoy it. Yeah, Alice, I know. Isn't that great? Just see some of all of it. Now you could, if you were going to put a little bit of that, and I would really suggest, if you wanted to paint it, I would really suggest putting on a little bit of gesso. And whether it would be, you know, the white or the clear. And you'll just have better luck with it than just trying to leave it, you know. Okay. And then this tiny edge is going to peek out. So I'm going to rub a little bit on here. You know, one time I did something like this and I didn't put anything on it. But you know what I used? I used some Stays-On ink. Now, Stays-On is a solvent-based product. And so, you know, it worked just fine. and I had some kind of a little tin can. You know those tin cans, like, oh, I don't know, it was look like something like sometimes cookies come in or different things like that. So I don't need a lot around this edge because it's going to be covered up with my paper that I just cut out. Yeah, I can even hear the difference that made putting on that gesso. It's totally different sounding. So we'll just get this little edge covered up a tiny bit, just so it's not so, you know, so stark red. If it had been pink, which I don't think Altoids have a pink can, it would have been perfect. Of course, you know, who knows? I say that, and it might have been a terrible color of pink to go with my paper, right? Okay. Just make sure I've got enough. But I'm just going to glue it. It'll be fine glued. You know, you could always use something, and maybe you could, you know, use something, paint it white, or, you know, just give it a little color. You could decoupage a napkin piece on top of it. That would be cool too. But if you were going to do that, I would for sure, you know, do the gesso and give it a little, you know, paint under there, right? I know, right? Yes, Alice, that would have been perfect. If we would have done that, that would have been so perfect. So now I'm just going to lay this on here, and I'm just going to glue it on. And like I said, you could easily use some Mod Podge on it and do more of a decoupage technique. Hey, sweetie, how are you doing? Look at this. Even this is pretty. All that paper. And you know, that's the hard thing. You get one of those paper pads, and they have such beautiful papers, and then it's hard to sometimes decide which side you want to use. No, you know, sometimes that's not true. You might have something specific that you want it to go with. I'm going to use quite a bit on here because it's going to be, I want it to make sure it sticks. Now I may come back later and go ahead and, you know, since I'm not sure where this would live, you know, I might could toss it in my purse or something. So I would want to make sure that it was going to stay nice. And so because of that, I would probably go ahead and seal it with some matte medium or a little bit of Mod Podge. I would probably prefer to do, you know, actually I think I've got some, I do, hang on a sec. Let's glue the top and the bottom first though. So the other piece for the bottom needs to be I hope this size is gonna work. They should. Yes, they should, Danette. They should think about us as they're doing that. I agree. Oh, this will be fine. Look, I was thinking about it going that way, and I thought it wouldn't fit the other way. But it's plenty big if I do it this direction. So let's just cut some off here. So we've got some straight edges to work with. And this one needs to be, well, first let's cut straight edges. Need a couple of straight edges before we can go. Okay, so this one needs to be 2 1/8 inches wide. Wait a second. I did the top. Yes, 2 1/8. And 3.5 inches tall. And then again, we'll use our 1/2 inch corner rounder. I love this paper. Have any of you ever used this collection? Now this barely goes over that. I could still go back and color that in. But you know what? It's going to be just fine. You will get the idea, and then you can make yours. So then you can decide what you want to do, if you want to paint it, if you want to color it, or like Alice said, just pick some papers that'll go with that. I don't remember. You know, I haven't seen these. I know I just grabbed this tin of Altoids. Do they have other flavors besides this, what's it called? It Curiously Strong Peppermint or something? I don't remember. Now this almost covers up all of the words. And I'll live with it. There's a tiny bit down here. A little black mark. But I do believe, you guys, that if you'll take some alcohol to this, that it'll wipe off this this other marking that they've got. Okay, now then. Now, one of the things that you can do is just take some matte medium. This feels like it's getting dry. Let's check it out. Okay, let me find. We'll just get a little out of here. And then just rub it on, and it'll just kind of seal that. Since it is paper, it'd be nice to have it sealed, right? I don't want a ton of it. I just want it sealed. That's it. We used to have a great product that was made by Ranger, and it was called Glue and Seal, and it was fabulous. And then they seemed to quit making that. I haven't you know, you can't find that anywhere anymore. Nowhere. So, you know, just use the matte medium. And the thing I like to use, the reason I like to use my fingers when I do things like that is you can feel where it is. You can feel if it's thick somewhere. You can feel if it's not in, you know, that you didn't get it somewhere. Oh my gosh, LaBelle Drunk at Home. Danette, that would have been perfect for this, wouldn't it? She says she has one in her purse that's wintergreen, and it has a blue border instead of the red. She bought them for the container. That's great. Now, I would go ahead and do the other part of this too, but I'm not going to. You guys, by the time I've almost been into this half an hour, so, you know, so much for being done real early, right? Spearmint and cinnamon. Sweetie, do you know what color the cinnamon container edge is? That's funny. Okay. So let me just hit this a little bit and dry that. Yeah, I am really, I might have to use the same paper and go get that color, right? Okay, so now then I'm just going to use white to make my little pages. And the reason I'm going to use white is because no matter what pictures I want to put on, I think a tiny white border around it, because I'm going to have just a teeny little white border, you guys. That's it. And so no matter, you know, what the picture is, it'll look like, you know, when you have pictures printed and if they have the white border. So that's what we're going to go for that look, okay? So the cinnamon is a maroonish color. See, even that would have looked good with this, right? Okay, so so the inside pages and the one I did at the bottom, are all the same, okay? So they're 2 1/8 inches wide. So I'm just gonna run that here. And I'm gonna make sure my measurement is the same at the top and the bottom. Make sure I get that straight all the way up and down. And then 3 1/2 inches. They look so skinny and narrow, right, when you're doing these. Just super skinny. And they are. And not all of your pictures when you play around and print them. And so what I did was I went into Canva and I just made a little, I made a page and I made the pictures the size I wanted. And when you put a picture on in Canva and you tell it how big you want it, you still have room. You can like slide your picture like back and forth across like this. Like, let's say this is you know, the size I told it, but maybe my picture is extending out here, and all I have to do, you know, I can move it back and forth until it finds the spot that it needs to be. Okay, so now let me cut some more of these so I can show you what we're gonna do. So 2 1/8, because I'm gonna put one on the front and the back. Each section will have a front and a back. I'm trying to measure inches in one thing and then looking down at the bottom and it's whatever the other thing is. What is that, centimeters? It's not working well for me. The mint tin was empty. Who in the world sells mint tins that are empty? That was what they said that it was? That's cool. Or was it just a little tin? So 3 1/2. So I'm probably gonna do, this gives us 6. I'll probably do one more strip so we can have enough to play with. If we do one more strip, I think we can, you'll get the idea. Well, you're gonna get the idea anyway, but it'll just give us enough to kind of have a better look at what we're doing. So 2 1/8 by 3 1/2. And I think that we're gonna need to know if we need an even number of little page segments or if we're going to have an odd number. And that I don't really remember. I did something like this not long ago with playing cards with kind of the technique that we're going to use to put these together in the little can, but I think I figured out that it works best if you use an even number. So we'll see if that holds true here. So again, we're going to punch these with a 1/2 inch size. And we'll put them together. I only have one picture I'm gonna cut out and put on here. You guys will think it's funny. I think it's funny anyway. I do have another couple. Maybe we'll. Really wouldn't have liked the mints anyway. Oh my goodness. That could be true. You never know, right? Might not have even liked the mints. You guys, for anybody that, if you're on here and you were one of the presenters today, I just want to say everybody has done such a great job today. Such fun ideas. Thank you for taking this idea and, you know, running with it and, you know, making some different kinds of things. because that's what it's all about. Hey, you guys, in not 2 weeks, it's even less than that because it's going to be on a Tuesday. We are going to have some bead dazzling ideas for paper crafts, okay? So we're going to get together, and our lineup that day is going to show you some glitz and glam and bling that we can use for paper crafting. So I can hardly wait to see what people come up with for that one as well. Now this one is starting to kind of chomp through here and not make some pretty cuts, but you know, I've told you before, the way that you can deal with those is to you know, you can use like an emery board and get those little paper, those little raggedy edges straightened out so they look a lot better. You know, I'm not so sure. Some of these do not, as I'm doing this, I'm not sure that I'm getting a real uniform thing. But look here, you guys, here's a playing card, and look how much different this is. I was thinking playing cards would fit in here, and they're not going to fit in here. The cards I've made are just a tiny bit longer, but look how much narrower a playing card, I mean this card is, than a playing card. You could have used these and cut them down. I mean, that would have worked if that's what you want to use for, you know, the basis of it. Okay, now then, we're going to take our ribbon, and I'm going to fold it over, and I'm going to get out some Fabri-Tac here, because the Fabri-Tac is perfect for this. And I don't want to, you don't want to use very much. If you're, you know, it takes this kind of glue a little bit longer to set up, so you don't want to really, you know, take a long, you don't want to get too much if you don't have to, right? Now, this other glue I use, that Reptile glue, it'll work for fabric, but this just is easier. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on here kind of in the middle, and I want my little loop to stick out there. And you wouldn't even have to have a loop. If you didn't want the loop, you could just cut it and kind of, you know, dovetail it out and just make it pretty. You just want it pretty. I've got always my ceiling fan, people. The ceiling fan always is on, unless sometimes I have to turn it off so I can get things simmered down to take a picture sometimes, or something will be, you know, just blowing all around. So I just need to get this tiny bit here. Oops, it's catching on the other part. Okay, and now we're going to cover the whole thing up here. And back across the fabric ribbon. I love this ribbon. I have some, I kind of hoard it. It's just some dyed seam ribbing and seam binding. And I got several pieces of it. So for some of you that were new today and met Alice for the first time from Scrap Happy, in her membership, we would get together for we call it reunion, and go somewhere. And so many of us from that group have met in person and spent time together, and we just have a blast. And so one time we had one, and usually would go somewhere to a scrapbook store, right? And so one year we were at this place, and they had this gorgeous ribbon, and I bought all of this seam binding, and then it was outside Denver in a little town called Loveland, and we went there. And so then when we had gone back again another year, oh my gosh, I was going to go up there because we lived about an hour, or we didn't live, I grew up about an hour from there. And so I was going to go back up there because I thought, oh, I love that store, and I was going to go. You guys, they were going out of business. I'm like, oh, of course. It was so sad. So now we're just going to line it up here. And I mean, it does, if you've got enough wiggle room here between your ribbon, it doesn't have to be, you know, super exact. You just need enough so it can lay down in your little box, right? Oh, I should have put it down here. Let me put it here. Are you talking to me? No. You better not be. I'm just going to put it here and then I can see where it goes. But, oh, I had some of the prettiest of these seam bindings. Uh-oh. You guys, one day I was trying to take the cap off of this and it busted, and I used my other glue to, like, hold it together. And it looks like it's coming apart. Okay, I'm going to line up. This is one of the reasons why it's kind of nice when you've got these grid on these mats, because you can line things up. So I'm going to just line the bottoms of my cards up like that. Put some more on. That's scaring me. I hope that thing doesn't, you know, just explode, right? You use aluminum foil on your cutter to sharpen it. Yeah, that can, I've heard that works. Now, I've heard other people say, no, don't do that. But I tell you what, I had a punch that I was so unhappy with. It was like a kind of a lacy border punch, and when I got ready to use it, it just wouldn't do anything. And I thought, what do I have to lose? And I tried that, and I got it to work. So, yeah, some people say, no, it doesn't work, but you know, you use metal to sharpen metal knives, right? So who knows? Okay, so this one here, let's line them up again, and I'm just gonna try to kind of have a little kind of the same distance between each one, and just kind of put that on here, like, and you want to get it kind of close to your edges though, so your ribbon is, you know, holding there. And like I said, if you've got a little, especially with this kind of ribbon, you know, it doesn't matter. You guys, I'm so afraid that's going to just explode out of there. I should get one of those other kind of bottles and put it in, one of those Sugar Bell bottles. I'll put it in, it has a metal tip. Save myself the aggravation, right? Plus, if it's leaking out here, now if it dries, it'll kind of seal itself up. But okay, I'm going to stop at this one. And you know, you guys could do whatever you wanted to. You could ink these, whatever you wanted to do, right? Okay, now, so where did we put the box? Found it. Okay. So what we would do is, when you get done, now the last one you might, and I don't know how many of these, you know, would be, oh, you guys, an uneven number looks like it's gonna work best. So I would just glue the first one down in here, or actually it's the last one on your string. So your first one is going to be here on the top, and you would pull that out, and then you just keep, you know, pulling them out like this, and then they're going to be on both sides, except for, like I said, I would not put anything on the back of this one, glue it down, and then the rest of these will just, you know, flip out like this. Or, you know, maybe you want the glue, maybe this would be the better thing. Maybe you would secure your ribbon down in there and then, you know, fold them back and forth like this. And if you did that, you know, then you're going to have, you'd need an even number then to make this one come out on the top. See what I mean? Does that make sense? Sometimes I feel like I dream up these things and then I feel like I've confused everybody. So I hope not. But anyway, look at that. I think that's going to be so fun. And I wasn't sure using double, but I think white cardstock is often less thick than a lot of colored cardstocks, right? So here I've got 6 pieces right there, and here's how much room it is taking in there. Look how much room is still left. You know, you can see, you could put a whole bunch of them in there. And look how fun that would be, especially if you were going to put pictures on the top and bottom both. So here I've got a picture somewhere, I hope. There it is. I don't have any idea how long ago we had this made. Look at this. This is when my husband and I first met. I mean, that's how old we are. Oh my goodness. We've known each other a really long time. You know, they didn't even have colored photos back then. And so this, your pictures are going to be the same. No. The pictures need to be 2 inches by, oh my gosh, you guys, I wrote it down. I had to convert it into a decimal for Canva. So it would be 2 inches wide, and it's 3.38 inches high. So I've already done the decimal conversion for you. How about that? So yeah, when you're using some of those graphics programs and you're making something specific, you have to, you know, convert it, because you can't write in 2 and, you know, an 1/8 or whatever it was. And so I would put this one here on the top, and it's just going to have this teensy little bit of white border. Now the white on this one with this one is kind of funny, but I don't know. I'm thinking about making all of these of pictures of just the 2 of us. I think that would be kind of fun. And just slide it on in there. But yeah, it was hard. I tried to play around with it, but yeah. And this was just, I don't know if it was scanned or I had just taken a picture of this this picture that we had done. I don't even know where it was, but those are fun. How many of you have ever had any of those pictures done like that? They are fun, aren't they? Oh, Karen says it's getting windy in Orlando. Oh my goodness. You take care, girlfriend. I tell you, everybody is, I tell you, we are really, all of you are in our hearts, our thoughts, our prayers, and we just, you know, we wish there was something more we could do, right? But it's just, you just don't. Yes, the ceiling fan is our friend, Annette. No kidding. So you would just keep putting those in there. How do you like that idea, you guys? Just something different, right? But look, if you did pictures of kids or something for a grandmother, wouldn't that be fun? She could just keep this with her. It's a little bit different and more secure than like a little album, a different kind of album. But you know, I call these paper bookers, and I just do this to get those off of there. Just use like an emery board or something, and you can just file them off. Smooth them off just like you do your nails, right? And so you can put that right in there. But I thought that would be fun. So you guys, that's going to be it. Does anybody have any questions? Hi, Glinda. Yes. You guys, they are fun. We've got several of them. I think I've got one. So there was that one of Steve and I. I know there's one of 2 of our girls, and then I think there's another one of 2 others of them, and then we had a bunch done. We had dinner one time at Casa Bonita in Denver, and they had like an old-timey thing there, and so they had the pictures done there. And oh my gosh, it was when my granddaughter was little. I'm not even sure if she'd started preschool yet. And so my brother's kids were there, and I tell you, the 2 of them were his youngest son, and then they were just hilarious together. And it looks like they're in a saloon, and then they've got these rifle toting kids in there. I mean. They were just so funny. So we've got quite a few of them. And I kind of want to find them all. I never can find them all at the same time. I want to find them all and put them in frames and put them together. I think it would be just a hoot in there in our family room. I would love to have them all together. I think it would be a lot of fun. Did you see they redid Casa Bonita? I did. And and you can't even, my oldest daughter has got a chance to go in, and you have to you're on some kind of waiting list. You can't just go. You have to have some kind of reservations, and there's an entire waiting list to be able to go. Somehow she was able to get in, and I just saw they've done a documentary on it. It just kills me though, because the entire time one of the guys who bought it, he keeps calling it Casa Bonita, and it's like nails on a chalkboard or something. It's not Casa Bonita. no, it's not. But it was so funny. And they originally thought, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think they thought it would be about $6.5 million to redo it and renovate, and in the end it cost them $40 million to get it up and running. It was nasty. Oh my gosh, it was dirty, it was unsafe. They had so many things that were unsafe. And one of my friends in Denver, who I've known a really long time, she was telling me one time that she had worked there when they opened. And I said, seriously? I go, I didn't know you had worked there. So we've had a big laugh about it, being reopened and everything. And I think all of us, I always said, with all of the fake trees and everything in there, and just all the rocks and just everything, I always said there's no way they could keep the place clean. Well, when you watch the documentary and you saw when they opened up air ducts and stuff like that, it's like, ew. I knew it. I knew it. But fun. So I haven't had a chance to go yet. Hi, Patty. How are you? You love these tins. I know. And now we have found out we can pick better colors by picking different flavors. So we need to pick out what paper we're going to use and then go pick out the flavor according to that, right, you guys? So funny. You were the saloon girl in your in the old-timey pictures. I know, right? Oh my gosh, they're just so fun. But and the reason, I don't know, for those of you who didn't know, in case I just blathered on, they had one of those setups there, and I think they have put that back in. I think they still have that now that they've redone the place. But yes, they are so much fun. You guys, thanks for hanging out with me, and I'm gonna let you go. If you, like I said before, if you aren't part of the Crafty Bunch or my Artful Adventures Clubhouse, both of those, there's no cost to join either of those. And when we have events, all you have to do is just jump in there and just refresh the page, and you don't have to go anywhere else. It's just easy to find everything. Thank you so much, you guys, and thank you to all of our presenters today for such wonderful, wonderful projects. And I will see you next time. You guys, take care. Bye-bye.